Hello, wonderful being, and welcome back to another 5-day transmission with Nikki. Today's topic is all about Dejavu, glitches in the matrix, and bilocation, and most importantly, how to use these symbols to empower yourself and create anything you desire in your hologram of reality. This video is going to have two parts. First, I'm going to have this one-on-one personal talk to you because I can feel you here in the video. And then I'm going to have a board explanation so I can show you some images that can clarify these topics. Let's start with déjà vu. What is a déjà vu? Anytime you get a sense that you already have experienced a situation, or maybe you meet a person and you feel like you have known this person for a lifetime, and it's actually because a parallel version of yourself, it can be you from the future, has already created so many memories with this being. And because everything within consciousness happens simultaneously, when you encounter this being, then you are remembering all the future memories or the simultaneous memories that you already created with this being. Or for example, you go to Rome and you are in a cathedral and you're walking in this beautiful museum and seeing the pictures, and you get a sense that this has already happened and you have already been there. It's because a parallel past simultaneous version of yourself was already there, and you are tapping into that one, remembering how it was to be there. Isn't it that amazing? How these deja vus can empower you, and how can these contribute into your ascension process and into stepping into your true divine self and claiming all your powers and all your gifts. It gives you complete knowingness that anything that you see and perceive in your mind's eye, or if you feel it because you're more clairsentient, it means that it's happening within consciousness. So instantly, instead of being in a place of lack or doubt or this will happen for me, any vision you have of your highest and most joyful and replenished potential of yourself, it removes all doubt. Because if you can tap into that potential, if you can sense that vibration of that highest and most beautiful timeline for you, you can grab that vibration and bring it into the now moment, and you wouldn't have that visual if it wasn't already happening. So it gives you the complete assurance that is 100% done. And with that 100% knowingness, there is no space for doubt. There is no space for what if. What happens if I don't accomplish this? What happens if I fail? There is no failure, because 100% knowingness aligns you with the vibration of what you want to allow, of that person that you want to become. That's already happening. I want to give you a personal story so you can explore this concept, and this story seems really far off for me because it is in a parallel timeline, past timeline, that in the linear time is 6 years or 7 years ago, baby. And this version of Nikki was still in the matrix, and is still in the matrix because it's still happening. How trippy is that? She was studying law because that version of me still hadn't completely grasped her infinite potential and was still having some distortions and limitations self-imposed. So that version of me was still falling into societal norms, into pleasing my dad. So I was following the path of law school, even though I had already discovered that that wasn't what I wanted to fulfill in my lifetime. So I remember that in that time, that version can't even tap into that anymore. How cool is that? That's when you know you already made the switch of the timeline. Let's see. That version of myself was working in a law firm and was working from 8 to 5, 9 to 5. and then was going to law school from 6 to 10 at night. It was being depleted of energy, wasn't doing her highest joy, had already remembered that that wasn't her soul mission, and was tapping into her creator powers, creating my reality powers. So it was more like, this is not where life and hologram of reality is meant to be. And of course, that version of myself didn't have these quantum laws and concepts, but it was still connected somehow to guidance and to listening to messages indirectly. So I was more like, I'm here making probably that time $600 a month, feeling depleted, investing all of my energies on something that I don't really want to keep fulfilling. And then that version of myself had a vision of my mom. She was already into fitness, she was already spending all the time in the gym, but she didn't have it as a business. So she saw this beautiful timeline of her mom having a lot of coaching clients and fitness clients, and her working with my mom into making this amazing social media and helping people and creating a website. And I got the exact images of how it had to look and what I had to do. And there in my desk in the law firm, I just wrote down in a paper everything I saw. And from that point, I took a leap of faith and I started creating that timeline. And long story short, in less than 2-3 months, that business grew onto 10K a month and was able to bring not only financial freedom for my household in that timeline, but it brought me a sense of freedom and joy and step into my creative powers. Again, at that time, I wasn't aware that these were quantum laws, but I took a leap of faith. And what is amazing about having this knowledge now? And yes, in that time, I was having a deja vu. That version of myself that was there in the law firm, having these thoughts about this is not where I'm meant to be and I should quit this job and pursue my vision. That version was tapping into the version that was already pursuing the business with her mom and making $10,000 a month and being super happy and financially free and abundant. And a lot of other things happened in that timeline after, which were lessons, and you can find all about that in my book. But in that moment, I received that information and I just took it as a leap of faith, as I said. The beauty of this is that now, with all the light workers, not just me, that have paid that path, and the path's open and the knowledge is here for you, you don't have to take a leap of faith. You can step into 100% knowingness that if it was possible for me to use that deja vu to jump into a different parallel reality and crystallize another timeline, and from that one I even jump and crystallize on what I am now, that is the happiest and the most joyful I have ever been in my life. And I know that this is not how far I can go. There are many other possible realities for myself, but I'm getting ahead. Use that knowingness, use that deja vu, use that image that you receive of anything that you see. You see yourself, I don't know, fulfilling your soul purpose. That means it is happening, it is possible. There's no need to take a leap of faith. It's more of a leap of knowingness that it's already yours. And from that knowingness, aligning your thoughts, your deeds, and your emotions opens and creates another symbol of a portal that will allow that vibration, allow that reality into your now moment. Okay, now let's go into glitches in the matrix and by location. So where we were, glitches in the matrix, with the knowingness that you are in a hologram, and exactly as it would be in a computer software, you can begin to notice some glitches, twitches, or even defects that you can use in your advantage to transcend space and time. How does that work? An example is by location, like I shared in my personal ascension video number 2. My glasses story, in which my guides use as a symbol to let me know that I am anchoring my desired timeline, the timeline of my preference, of my highest joy. So every time I'm in alignment with my highest vision, they put the glasses back into my reality. And sometimes they disappear and I look for them the whole house. And a week later, something happens and they're back in the desk or in the kitchen. So because I'm aware that I'm in a computer software, in a hologram, this is not real, I know that I can use little twitches or confirmations to access the multidimensionality of my being. And I'm going to go in a bit on how you can use this as a benefit for you. But first, I'm going to give you this example that probably you can relate more to, not just objects coming out of your reality, but here is the picture. You are in your room and you have a thought, and this is reality number one. And you want to go to the kitchen and you have the idea that you want to make yourself a sandwich or a green juice or something. The moment you step into the kitchen, you are switching into a parallel reality. The moment you open the door is the portal or the black hole that teleports you or bilocates you to the kitchen. So even in that nanosecond that you open the door, you're stepping into a parallel reality. How can you notice that? Because sometimes when you make that switch, just like in a computer software, the thought or the wish or the desire that you have in this reality, you completely forget. And now you're in the kitchen and you're like, oh my God, what was I gonna do in the kitchen? Why did I want it? You open the fridge and you don't remember. And only when you go back into the room, that's reality number one, where you had that thought, then the computer, the hologram, the matrix gives you back that piece of data that they didn't let you go through into your second reality, and then you remember. And you can test this anytime you want. When you switch from one room to another and you forget, just go back to the first room where you have the thought, and you're going to see how you jump into that reality and you remember that. So now how this is going to be beneficial for you, and how can you use these glitches to your benefit and to step into your creator power. You can have instant manifestations because you are not in space and time. Space and time doesn't exist. You're a multidimensional being. You don't need permission slips. You don't need to exert a lot of energy to allow something or accomplish something into your life. You can have the instant manifestation of the object, the thing, or the person to bilocate into your reality. And for that, I want to give you a drawing. Let's delete this. And I'm going to also give you a personal example on how I bilocated a car into my reality, a new car, without having to spend any money for it. It was just an instant manifestation. So let's say you have point A, ignore this drawing. This is when you want something. Let's say you want a car, you want a new phone. Let's make it as a physical object. Or you want a puppy, a new puppy. When you want something that stems from your heart, the manifestation comes faster because your intentions, when they are aligned with the energy of love, you open the portals much more faster and you can bilocate the objects. So make sure that anything that you want is for your highest good and the highest good of all involved. If you want a car, set an intention that you're going to express your higher self through the car. Maybe you're going to drive to places where you're going to give workshops, or you're going to drive to your new job, or you're going to go and be of service and take your little brother to football practice. Make sure that you attach positive intentions in the benefit of all when you want to bilocate something, because if it stems from your ego, you're going to block that instant manifestation. So again, you have your point A and you want to come to point B here. Point B is when you already have the car, the puppy, or the new car. There's some perceived distance, and let's have more space here, from point A and point B, because society has told you that you need to get the job, or you need to save the money, or you need to work for it, or graduate from school to finally have a degree and finally have the money to buy this and this and this. And this is all the parallel reality symbols or permission slips that you supposedly need to go through to go from point A to point B. But this is not real. This is just an illusion. And if you step into that knowingness, you can instantly bilocate from point A to point B. And you cross out so you can see it better. You cross out these parallel realities and you are instantly here. So you don't need to make the money for it. You don't need to go to school for it. You can, many infinite probabilities or situations that you can allow for it to happen. So my car story example, it is, I wanted a new car and I have had my car for many years and it was just a mess, going into the mechanic all the time, had to invest always a lot of money to fix it, and it wasn't reflecting what I wanted to feel. It wasn't in alignment with my highest joy and the version of myself that I knew I was, and I was allowing. So I was, you know what, I'm gonna manifest a new car. So I sold my car, and I think I got like $2,000 for it. I gave $1,000 away. I kept $1,000 because I knew that as I give, I receive. The more you give, remember, there are no others. Everybody in your hologram is a reflection of you. So if you give to another, you're actually giving to yourself. So make sure, like, even if it's little, always make sure you're giving to something that inspires you and gives you, inspires you love, because it's gonna come back tenfold. Just got that download. So I sold my car, and through infinite probabilities and possibilities, and I didn't know how it was gonna happen, my boyfriend's brother suddenly gives us a car. Totally new car, beautiful car, perfectly 10 times better than the one I had. And it was a gift for my boyfriend, but my boyfriend doesn't even go out of the house. He works all the time inside. So the car ended up being mine, and it's the one that I am using currently. And it works amazingly and perfectly, and I didn't have to invest or spend $1 or sign clients. At that moment, I was still having my health coaching business. So I didn't have to use that as the vehicle to manifest, because I just bilocated myself into here from point A to point B. So all these parallel realities or permission slips that you can still go through, and sometimes you can go and try an object that is less of the physical cost that you think a car should be, because you exert a lot of value to it. But there's no difference from $10 to $10,000. It's just a number, and money calibrates at neutrality. What actually the object is the essence of how you want to feel. So when you want to attract something and bilocate an object into your reality, make sure to forget about the numbers or the money or how much it costs, because that's a man-made concept, and the essence of it, how you want to feel. What do you want to attract? That is the thing. That is the vision that I want you to have when you want to step into these bilocation powers. So sometimes you may go through some lessons and permission slips, and oh, maybe I can do this. And then suddenly you want to create a dinner, and somebody invites you to a sponsored dinner, and it was from their heart, and you didn't have to spend anything from it and no energy. You just had the thought that you wanted dinner, and a friend called you that you haven't seen in months. Hey, do you want to go to this amazing restaurant? It's on me tonight. And you're like, oh my God, I created that. I manifested that. And then little by little, you're going to grab that vibration of confidence of your powers of bilocation and how to play with all these twitches and glitches in the matrix to make this go at a faster speed. And if you truly believe you can manifest a car from thin air, and it's going to be just outside in your doorway, because we are not in space and time, we are all the space and time. We're not going through it, we are it. So instead of thinking of you in a linear way, think of you as going through little snapshots, and you have a snapshot here, snapshot 1, snapshot 2. So if you truly believe you can manifest a car out of thin air, and I'm not at that level yet, I can just see it there in front of my eyes. So sometimes it's fine to go through these permission slips and these little, let's say, confident grasp. Oh, I'm confident, I can do this. Oh, maybe I can do this. Oh, I'm doing it. But step into the knowingness, just as I said, in the Dejavu, to use that visions, to use the power of you are in the matrix, and that you can actually bilocate. So I know that this was helpful for you. Let me know what you think. I'm going to open a Q&A for all my members in my Facebook group Ascend Feminine. If you have any questions about glitches in the matrix, bilocation, creation, Dejavu, ascension process, communicating with your guides, your soul purpose, and all the other things that may empower you to align with your true self, I encourage you to join the group and give me a thumbs up and a subscribe if you are resonating with the content, my friend. So I'll see you in my next 5D transmission, sending you all my love.